Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese sweets and treats. Today we have 3 treats to try from Sakura Co. We have these Daifuku, which are filled with an azuki bean paste. Should be pretty good. Then we have these black Karinto, and apparently these are actually dipped in molasses before being deep fried. Not sure how that's going to go. I am excited to find out though. And then we will finish up the day with this chestnut cake, and this is actually the thing I'm looking forward to the most. So it's this wafer shell, and inside is a chestnut infused white bean paste. Should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all of these, but most of all that one. Well, let's get started. Itadakimasu! So, starting with these Daifuku. I try to know when to just give up and pull out the scissors on a package. And sometimes you can just tell right away that the plastic is not going to tear well. At least not to start. So right away I'm going to call out, usually, so Daifuku are very similar to mochi. And normally when you see them, they're kind of separated out, and this time they aren't, which is kind of unusual. Oh my gosh, these are super messy. Alright. These particular Daifuku have a lot of the bean paste in there. So if you don't like the bean paste, you might want to give it a pass. If you're like myself and are actually pretty good with the bean paste, these are amazing. This is a very, very sweet bean paste. As some of you who've been on the channel for a while might remember, over in Japan, beans are actually very, very sweet. So you see them show up in desserts and sweets all the time. And if you take a look, they're, especially in something such as this, uh, they're ground into a paste that is much more reminiscent of like refried beans than anything else. And it can kind of mess with your head a little bit the first few times that you try it. Some people never get used to it, but if you can kind of start wrapping your head around it, uh, you find that there are just a lot of these things that are really just delicious. They're very sweet, they're very unusual. Uh, and this is a classic example. If you like the bean paste, definitely give this one a shot. If you haven't tried it, this might be a great introduction, just because it does kind of have that mochi around it that is very familiar to a lot of people who eat Japanese sweets, but then you get all that beautiful bean paste that is just absolutely delicious. I'm a fan. Okay. And then we have the black Karinto. I'm guessing they're calling it that just due to the color from the molasses. Holy cow. So it actually has an extremely thick coating on the outside. That is really interesting. I'm very optimistic about this one. So I'm not sure how well you can see that, but that coating is exceptionally thick. There we go. It is just crazy thick, the coating on there. And it's both sweet and savory at the same time. It's definitely kind of funky. Uh, yeah, Looking at it, it makes me think kind of like a normal, something like a crunchy Cheeto, uh, but it's not quite like that either. It's very unusual, but it's also not bad. Like I said, it's kind of sweet, kind of savory, and just it's kind of its own thing, and it's not bad. uh, definitely happy with how that turned out. Though I have to admit that Daifuku is just really good. I I would definitely pick that over, but don't regret trying that. That is a fun thing to try. All right, and then to finish up, we have our chestnut cake. And the way that it's formed, it kind of makes me think of a little chestnut, which is really honestly part of the fun, I have to admit, at least for myself. So that is again just full of that bean paste. And this wafer cookie thing, it just kind of glide, your teeth just kind of glide through it. It parts really easy. Uh, Very nice clean bite. Again, the bean paste has a similar texture to the Daifuku. Um, and I don't have the words to describe kind of the differences between the bean paste. I will need to, try and experiment more uh, with these different flavors, but the nuttiness of the chestnut is definitely coming through. It is really good. If you like things like chestnuts or almonds or just nutty flavors, uh, maybe give this a shot. Especially if you are looking to try the bean paste or you've already tried and you know that you like it. This is definitely one to try and just see. I am going to enjoy finishing this after the episode. Huh. Gochiso sama. So to recap, we did our Daifuku, which is mostly on, if I'm being honest, the mochi is basically a delivery system for that bean paste. It is mostly the azuki bean paste, and I I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it works really well. If you like the bean paste, it is really good. That is very good azuki bean paste. We did the black Karinto, which kind of funky. Uh, got a bit of that crunch going, but it kind of has almost a candy shell around it. It is both sweet and savory at the same time, and which is kind of funky, but also, not in a bad way. It's pretty good. And then we finished up with the chestnut cake, which has kind of the wafer things on a wafer shell on the outside, and is filled with a chestnut infused white bean paste that is, again, kind of like the Daifuku. If you like that, it is so good. I highly recommend. Uh, Honestly, all of these were really pretty good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, the link for that is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ja ne!